Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Baby, there are the sand from July to the end of September. Summer night, out on the streets and the pavements are burning the city around. There ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Summer night, a hot summer night. Endless summer night. In the summertime, when the weather is hot, the damn blues. It's hot town, summer in the city. Everybody's got something.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In just a few minutes, Cave Crew Radio is going to go live. We have a very special guest host tonight. It is going to be an awesome show. You want to tell your friends, you want to get ready, you want to join. We've got a very special also. Mike Jolitz reads the news. You see, Big B is not here tonight. It's me and my very special guest. And but Big B, he can't stay away. So you're going to want to stick around for Mike Jolitz reads the news. So in about 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live. I can't tell you enough about our special guest, Raymond the Amish Comic, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because if I'm not, I'm going to get in shit. He's not in yet, but I hear him in my ear, ladies and gentlemen. We're just a few minutes away. Uh-oh, he's struggling with electric. I hear him in my ear. You don't hear him yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start the show. And we're going to have a great time tonight. We're going to ask him some questions. We're going to show him some picture. We have a breaking news story that he's going to want to hear and explain to us tonight. Mike Jolitz reads the news. Tell your friends. Mike Jolitz is in chat, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you. Let's kick this party off. Except I got to turn on the radio. You're there.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start.
Roger, we have liftoff.
In 3, 2, 1. The heat is coming to Cave Crew Radio. The Endless Summer Beach Party 2022.
Cave Crew Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back upon men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of the men.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
broadcast of the masculine feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
I'm gonna go to a place like a shot and beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clement, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal.
I did it.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed, it is Cape Crew Radio, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not even going to bother you with the blah, blah, blah that we are live on CapeCrewRadio.com, live on YouTube, live over on Facebook, and available wherever podcasts can be downloaded. I do have to give a special shout out before we start. This may be your first virtual live comedy because we are live on the big screen at Jimmy's Sports Bar in Kingston, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling I'm going to lose control of the show very quickly. A dear friend of mine filling in for our endless summer beach party. I love him dearly, and you will by the end of the show. Raymond.
Is that me? Am I in?
I'm going to try and say it.
Am I coming through?
Yes. Did I say it right?
Why did you call me Amish again? You know that upsets me.
I said Amish this time.
All right. Well, see here, I'm already worked up because it's really good to see you. But every time I've come on this show since the first time, somebody's gone missing, and now it's down to just you.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if this is like a Survivor thing where, like, if I win this round, are you gone? And then it's just me. Then it's because I don't know if I can commit to that.
But you would make this show famous. I am quite sure. No, what's happening right now is Big B is down at like Area 51 or whatever down in Arizona.
Well, he's probably not coming back then. You don't come back from Area 51. I mean, everybody knows that.
Now, what's with this background you got going on here?
Oh, I just changed shower curtains because I started TikToking and then I was dicking around. I was TikToking right now. That's why my lighting was fucked up because I'm plugged in. I've got my electric. So just moments before I got here, I was going, Alexa, turn off light. Alexa, turn on light. I did that like 3 times, and that's my TikTok. So that was live on TikTok, and it also gets me very excited to work electric like that magically. So
now, when did you finally get Alexis?
When they came out. I'm obsessed with electric. I'm obsessed with technology. If it plugs in, I gotta have it. So I'm plugged in.
Because now, Ray, like let's talk about something here. I mean, I think during the pandemic we had you on once before, but that had to be really tough for you because you're a touring comic. You thrive on live audiences, and then the pandemic came along.
Yeah, and I forgot about it for like 5 minutes today until you reminded me. So yeah, it's been actually really fucking brutal, if you don't mind my French. It's been brutal. That's why I am TikToking. I have a Patreon. I stream live on YouTube through my Patreon, and I have a little cult following, and I book shows as I can. But again, I love my audience, but they really test me. Like, I will post a show on my fan page, and they'll go, "We're so happy to see you're back on tour." I was never on tour. One show is not a fucking tour. I book a show, then I go to it, and then I fucking come home. That's not a tour. A tour is where you go into a city, and then you perform, and then you go to another city, and then you perform, and then you go, and then people say, when the hell are you going to be coming home? It's like 17. Booking one show at the Beaver Run Rod and Gun Club and then coming home. It's not a fucking tour. It's just not a tour. So it's been a struggle. And but I'm performing live. I just did a show at a Sportsman's Club. I'm doing I have my best pricing going on right now. My fundraising, we're just doing a co-produced show where we all split the loot. So that's the best I can do with folks right now. So I am, but I didn't even want to bring this up because I love you, but you always bust my balls when I mention my book. And no, it isn't written yet.
Well,
and before you bust my balls, have you even ever read a book?
I've read books.
Okay, so you understand. Have you ever written them? But I have all the stories. I've started writing them by chapter, and then I'm trying to do an audio recording of that, and then I launch them through my Patreon, Amish Comic. So it is actually moving, but there's some great stories in there, not just because they're about me. Cool shit has happened to me. The story that I just dropped for my Patreons is my first headlining gig I ever did was July of 1992, and I wasn't supposed to headline. It was a surprise. And if you're a stand-up comedian, you work your whole life. I'm an MC. I suck as MC, and I'm a feature. Now I gotta kick some ass and then fucking bump me up to headliner. That's how it works. But I was put on the show. I was getting ready to headline. I felt like I was good enough, cocky enough, but I was only in the feature slot. So Ron Palillo, Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Arnold Horshack.
That's right. He decided it would be fun to try stand-up comedy, and he knew he sucked at it because he was just starting. He was very awesomely humble about it. So, but what they didn't tell you was they sold the show as Ron Palillo to Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter. I have a footnote here. He created that character in the audition line because everybody was a boring sidekick, and he just went fucking nuts. So he created that character, badass. And now the people who bought tickets wanted to see Horshack when there's something that was on your TV forever, and now it's in front of you. It's magical, but you don't see Arnold Horshack and go, "Oh, it's Ron Palillo." You go, "It's Arnold Horshack." I know this to be true because I saw Pee-wee's Playhouse on Broadway, and I didn't go, "Oh, look, Paul Rubens." I went, "Oh, it's fucking Pee-wee Herman." So that's how that works. So
that's the guy that masturbated in the theater.
Yes, but that's a side story. We're focusing on Horshack right now. So Horshack was going to host the show. So he'd do 15 minutes up front, then introduce, in this case, it would be me, and then he'd come back in between and then introduce the headliner. Why? This is a Clockwork Amish mindfuck for the audience who paid to see Arnold Horshack. Imagine if you had tickets to see David Bowie and you forgot that Melvin and the Winkies was opening up. And then you got there and you were all excited. You're, "Oh, fuck, we got to sit through Melvin and the Winkies to get to Bowie, but it's probably not so bad." And then all of a sudden, Bowie walks out fucking cold with no introduction, does Suffragette City, Heroes, and then he just goes, "And now I'd like to introduce Melvin and the Winkies," and he's fucking gone. And in this scenario, I'm Melvin and the Winkies. Horshack was fucking gone. There was me. That's how. And this was the early show. Ron Palillo's manager and Ron Palillo were busting the club's balls in between shows. They said, "How come the Amish guys not headlining?" I could masturbate just to the memory of that. So the club, I'm trying to get the club to headline me. Now I got to
write something down.
You write some shit down. So now this is the kind of shit that'll be in my book. So that I'm hearing this, and because I'm a dumbass, I didn't think they meant I would headline the Late Show. I just thought they meant we got to get the Amish comic to headline in this club, and then the club was told that future bookings they'd have to headline me. Little did I know they were going to headline me for the fucking Late Show. So that there was no fucking time to prepare. then they had to have a sneaky meeting because they can't tell the headliner proper, well, the Amish guy was funnier than you and you're getting a demotion. That's totally fucking uncool. Also, I had nothing to do with this, but I heard everything. There's no place to hide in the club. So they're like, well, what are we going to tell him? Tell him that since he has to drive all the way back to New York and he's a long drive and the Amish Comic's only 15 minutes away, if he would like to go before the feature, get paid, and fucking get out of there, and then we can headline Amish Comic. I heard all this shit. And so that's actually how it unfolded. And so that's how I got my first headlining gig in between shows of comedy. Nothing is supposed to happen. Nothing. You just breathe and you put on a dry shirt and you drink water and you make notes and you don't be told, oh, you're going to be headlining the late show, so you need to adjust your 30 minutes to an hour and figure out where to put your fucking hit single at the end. I'm losing my fucking mind. I texted my wife, I'm headlining the late show. I'll tell you when it's over if I live to it. I don't fucking know what's going on. Now, that's how I got my first headlining gig. But I was brought back down to earth because the guy who reviewed us in the local paper, he was at the early show and he fucking hated me. So he said he had to suffer through 30 minutes of Raymond's inextricable barnyard babblings. I had to fucking Google it. I don't even know what that means. So I wouldn't have got a better review if he was there for the late show, because then he would have had to sit through a whole fucking hour of my inextricable barnyard babbling. So it's kind of a cool way, because my first headlining gig, I was actually introduced by Ron Palillo, Arnold Horseshack. So that Horseshack.
Arnold Horseshack.
Or
Am I saying that right? Horseshack.
Which we're focusing on me. Let's just focus on Amish Comic. And then when you phone in Horseshack show, which is impossible because he's dead.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. Ron Palillo. So, boy, this show went and took a fucking nosedive down to the depressing, macabre. I actually don't include that in the book because it's
I'm glad.
Things are kind of removed. So that's in there. And then, but I have so many amazing stories. I've met Yakov Smirnoff and George Carlin and Sam Kinison actually did a radio commercial for me. He got tricked into it. He did it on purpose. All these stories are in there. But the next thing that I'm writing is a story about a private gig I did in the Poconos at Peck's Pond, where the show was interrupted because a bear snuck up behind me and nobody told me. They just got quiet and stopped laughing. And I thought something's wrong because I was banging off sheep and everybody was laughing. But now I said something and it apparently they're all upset. So I called them out on there. I'm banging off sheep. I'm doing it buggy style and you're laughing. And now I said something and everybody's quiet. And I got to know what I said to upset everyone. They said, oh, it's not you. There's a bear behind you. Well, thanks for the fucking heads up. It's intermission. I let the fuck out of there. So and there's more to that story, but it's actually fun to write them. I'm not doing a ghostwriter and I'm not recording, because here's what happens is my career goes over 30 years. When you reminisce and you think back to like Arnold Horseshack introducing me or the bear in the woods, I'm older and wiser now. So I have different ideas about, and if I would have been as smart as I am now as I was then, I would have had a fucking heart attack just getting bumped up to headliner. Ignorance is bliss.
You've got perspective now.
Yeah, so and that comes out in the writing a teeny tiny little bit. So it's enjoyable. It's just another thing that I can do to try to make some loot. TikTok, that's a whole nother one. Holy fuck.
Tell me about TikTok.
TikTok.
We're on TikTok, and are you a social influencer now?
Not yet. I'm not yet. Here's why you should not be on TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok is short attention span theater. Everything's got, if you can't get a woohoo in 30 seconds to 45 seconds, you're fucking out of there. So I take show footage and I try to find a 30-second snippet that makes sense. Then I drop it. And a 45-second snippet that makes sense. And I fucking drop it. I'm moving fast, though. I got to get 10,000 subscribers before I can start to monetize, and I'm up to like 7,500, something like that, in only a few weeks.
You're bigger than us. You're bigger than us.
Well, I hope so. That's my goal. But TikTok is a tricky beast, and if you want to have some fun, Google how to trend on TikTok and all. They want you to post like fucking 4 times a day and certain times of the day. And like Wednesday morning is good, but Wednesday afternoon sucks batshit balls. I haven't figured out half of that stuff, but it's just like another thing. What's fun about TikTok is this. It's a lot of misdirection.
I tagged you on a video. And nothing happened.
I got the tag, but I don't know how TikTok works. That's the whole thing. I saw it. I was so excited, and I went back to see what I could do to help that, and I didn't have a fucking clue. So I'm trying to figure all this shit out, and then that makes it tricky for like tonight because my camera's set up differently, and the TikTok thing is differently, and I have some tech help. On my first TikToks, the aspect ratio was off. Like we're horizontal now. Yeah. That ain't gonna fucking work on TikTok. No. You got to do the portrait thing. You got to flip it this way and that. It's a whole to do. But I'm figuring, and I will. If you tag me, I will figure out the TikTok tag, and then I'll add that.
And get me viral. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to interrupt just for a second, Ray. Take a drink, calm yourself down for just 2 seconds. You don't get to see this guy live for free very often. He's Patreon, he's YouTube. I click on him. You want to see me tonight? Come on my Patreon. There's no way to see him without paying some money. So you got him tonight. Ray, we have some listener questions.
Bring them on. All right.
A
little Q&A. Meet the Mennonites.
Meet
mocking myself. Mennonites. Don't fucking call me a Mennonite. And I did it, and I blame you. I'm such an ass.
Well, you always blame me for everything.
I did.
I'm cool with that. I'm completely legit with that. So some of these questions are a little bland, but some are pretty good. Ninja 44, whatever that means. That's probably a TikTok thing.
That's a handle. That's a person who's represented by Ninja, whatever the hell it is. What's it? Ninja 44? That means there's Ninja 1 through 43 before that one, and then probably just Ninja proper. So if you want to go in and get a handle now of Ninja, you're probably like Ninja 2,468 million billion trillion, but that's a handle. So Ninja,
right. So this person got their handle in really cool. How and why did you finally leave? Because you it's well known you left the Amish community. How and why?
Well, the how is easy because the way it's mostly asked to me is that the Amish is like a whole lifestyle. How could I give it all up? And the response is, oh, what? All that nothing? All that farming my balls off 16 hours a day under a hot August sun in a black suit waiting to burst into flames? How could I give that up? Dressed for my own funeral. If I drop dead, I could just dig a hole and they could throw the dirt right in. How could I give it up? The answer is just to flush away, man. Indoor plumbing. Oh, and it's like with the Amish, there's like there's no cold beer in the fridge. There's actually no fridge in the fridge. That's how I could give it up. And the coming out process for me was actually kind of fun because I get to spend summers I would call myself a preteen, maybe like 13. We had a family that was out, but was in Kutztown, and I guess they needed help, so my own Amish family farmed me up to Kutztown for non-Amish farming for the summer. And the university kids just took me as like a mascot, and they showed me around at parties and shit. And when you fuck your life up on alcohol and whatever that is, that's your own decision. But I had cheerleaders. I had people taking me to the party going, drink, 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 party with the Amish, BYOB, build your own bar, let's go fucking in a bucket of you. So I had people cheering me on, cheering me on to leave. And then the process was really easy. It's just a matter of I like having electric for one thing. Air conditioning,
did you
electric.
have to, this is my question, but this is part of it. But did you have to wait for Rumspringa?
Well, I'm actually technically on my 47th year of Rumspringa with no immediate signs of going back anytime soon. So you don't really have to wait. For me, I was really lucky. I actually am on National Geographic. I was going to be Amish Out of Order. There's a guy who does all their Amish specials. He's ex-Amish, and he kind of runs like a halfway house for Amish. He helps get people out. It's like a spy movie. Like the Amish kids run around and make friends with the city people, and he helps them get out. And what they do is they find them a job, and they help them get a driver's license, and they put them in the Amish halfway house, and they go meet him, and they got to slither down the Goldilocks hair or whoever hair it is at midnight and hop, and they're fucking gone. And so my process wasn't nearly that nuts, and I got in trouble with National Geographic because accidentally now, my friends are all in production of film. I have friends that drop the yellow line down for the Eagles home games on the TV for for the first down and all that. I got a friend who does that, right? And so all my people are like in show business that way. So I forgot what I was talking about. What was the question again?
Why'd you leave? And we got a lot of questions here.
Well, but that's how I got out, and but it had something to do with TV production. So mostly all my friends are in TV production. That's why I'm all plugged in. They don't perform, but they help me get out of there and bibbity bobbity boo. So it's a tough life. It's a tough life. People ask a lot of times, could I be Amish? Why the fuck would you want to? Why? What's the logic? What's the logic? See, the Amish believe this. Now you got me worked up. Now I'm all worked up. See, the Amish believe the less worldly possessions you have here, the greatest chance you have of going to heaven, where I believe, again, you will have no possessions. So the question begs, how would you even know that you're dead? As far as I can tell, it's if there's no pie. If you're walking around, everything's fine, and there's no pie, you might be dead. But
all right. Alex T. I really like this question, and I remember seeing this on YouTube, but you got to tell this story for us. Can you tell us the story when you first discovered urinals?
Okay, that's a kind of a loaded question. I know the story that you're talking about. It's actually not. It probably is when I first discovered urinals. Is that indoor plumbing is look out. But the first time I ever stopped at a turnpike rest stop, that was fucking euphoric. I know it's beneath a lot of you city folks. Like when you're traveling, I don't want to go to the rest stop, but I walked in to a rest stop off a highway for men's with no warning whatsoever. I walked into men's room when I thought I died and went to indoor plumbing heaven. Urinals lined up more than I could count, made just for pissing only, which I didn't know on the first night, and there's no sign up. So I'm sitting in there like this for crying out loud. So to this day, it kind of gives me a thrill. And on that particular night, there was nobody else really in there, and I had trouble picking one out. So I just tried to hit them all. I'm running back and forth. Yeah, we are pissing now. In fact, if they put that sign up, you go in there, caution, wet floor. I possibly just been in there. So that's that will not be in the book, by the way. That will not be in the book. Well, it might be, but I have more stories with celebrities and maybe some other appliances. I have the urinals is going to launch me into something else. So during my live stream during the pandemic, I obviously was out of money. So I had a segment called Shit in My House that I should not have bought because I'd really like to have the money back right now. One of those things was the magic bullet. I've got the magic bullet. You know, it's a fucking blender. That's what it is. It's a fucking blender. Vernon hates broccoli. That motherfucker. It's a fucking blender. So I got the magic bullet, and it's mostly everything I did for the first time is like urinals. The first film I ever saw, Eraserhead. First movie, Eraserhead. So my first everythings are actually kind of, you know, maybe not book worthy, but
no, but it's got to be fascinating. It's movie worthy. Like when you first left and you walked out on the street and you saw, I don't know, $2 horror.
Well, I didn't really see a $2 horror, but I did get advice. The last thing that my parents said to me as I was leaving, assuming that I was coming back, was be careful of women in red dresses. They are trollops and whores. And I said, thank you. That's going to save me a lot of small talk on anyone wearing a blue dress. Really appreciate that.
I don't know if this one's going to make any sense to you because it didn't to me. But Rob, 77. So as you tell me, there must be 76 Robs before him.
And millions after, yep.
Yeah. Says, can you, I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Can you sing Gott is die Leb?
That is a very religious and personal song, which should not really be sung on your show by me. That's one thing. And also, whoever requested that never really heard me sing, because I've sing a lot around the house, and we have a feral cat that when I sing at her, she fucking runs off. She just fucking goes. But I actually have a backup song prepared that I would like to sing for you right now. It is what the hell's it, guys? It's Ben Franklin's song by the Decemberists. It was written for Hamilton the musical, but they didn't put music to it, because the guy who wrote Hamilton, people do what they tell him. He told the Decemberist guy to write this, and this actually kind of fits. All right, so here we go. This is Ben Franklin's song. Electricity, yeah, you can all thank me. Took some lightning, a kite, and a fat brass key. They're putting up street lights in gay Paris. Welcome to my young nation. And then it goes on and on and on. Do you know who the fuck I am? Yeah, do you know who the fuck I am? I am Poor Richard's almanac riding Benjamin fucking Franklin. So that song fits me better than the religious one. But see now here.
I believe. But you recognize the name of that? Because
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's God Loves Me is pretty much what it is. But see, now that's a tag on everything. You don't know what a curse it is to be me, because everything anybody says to me launches the trolls in my idea hallway just run, and they all think up shit. So the National Geographic people, an Amish out of order, came to one of my shows out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I tried to get him to come to a theater show. Scheduling was bad, and the guy who hosted Mose Gingrich, they actually helped me goof on him. So what we did was he was planted in my audience, and he always wanted to be like a country singer. So he was going to heckle me, and I was going to call him out, and he was going to come up on stage, and then he was going to sing a country song. So in a comedy show in Pennsylvania, where it's $20 to get in, and there's beer on the ticket, and a lot of people didn't even think I was going to be on the show. They're like, who's that asshole up there in the black hat fucking up my drinking? He sang Amazing Grace in German. It was the saddest moment in the history of my career, and as he sang it, just to try to lighten the mood, I just tipped my head down, and I sadly walked out of the building.
I don't blame you.
To laughter and applause. So that got cut from the National Geographic special, but I don't do much singing. I could sing though. My last live stream, I actually sang something from the Philip Glass Ensemble, which is extremely difficult to do. Sing Philip Glass Ensemble, but people don't really ask me to sing. But at least whoever asked for a song. They got a song. They didn't get the song they wanted, but they got a song.
So, speaking of National Geographic, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I have a picture here. You were on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, and now, thank you, because I'm going to have to go back into therapy. I'm going to send you a fucking bill. It took me 5 fucking years. You know, I was on season 5. And at the time that show was happening, season 5, it was basically American Idol 2 disguised. So musical acts would win, and they brought in comedians and jugglers just to beat the fuck out of us and make a dick out of us so they get and comedians got more credibility in later seasons, but I died on the stand-up comedy cross that is America's Got Talent on season 5 so that others could live. And now you're going to hear that fucking story. Okay, so I was sequestered.
Wait a minute. I heard Simon voted for you.
Yeah, that's bullshit. You see how people talk and they whisper down the line? What happens is this, okay? It was Pierce Morgan, Howie Mandel, and what's her name? Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was sequestered in a room for 10 hours with 80 other circus acts that made me look fucking normal. There was they were 5 sexy, gorgeous black ladies with nylons on, and they were singers, and they shamelessly flirted with me all fucking day long, and they walked past me and they dropped lipstick, and this went under and then that came to a screeching halt in the 9th hour when I found out it was men, because I picked up the lipstick and he went, "Thank you." I'm sorry, motherfucker. I don't even care. Just why did you have to wreck it for me? So that was a big nightmare there. Now, okay, so they recruited me. I didn't audition. I didn't want to do it. I got a producer recruited me, and they said it'll really help your career, especially like when there's a pandemic and you have to stream. You'll have like 9 viewers instead of 2. Right before I went on, right? Okay, the producer who solicited me goes to me, and it's 2 minutes before it's my turn. She goes, "Try not to speak. The judges are in a bad mood." And she turned and walked away from me. Wait a minute. I entered in the fucking speaking category. I don't fucking juggle. I don't jump through hoops of fire. I'm a fucking speaker. I'm a talker. I'm a talking motherfucker. That's what I say. I say shit. Try not to speak. What you have basically told me is it's fucking 4th and inches, and there's time in the Super Bowl to run one fucking play, and if we hit it, we win. If we don't, we lose. And your advice is try not to run a play. What the fuck? So, and I got buzzed. They did a slick edit for TV. They couldn't even hear me. They actually, the booing and the hissing in there is so horrible. When I was done, I had family there, and I'm there. It seems as though they paid people to boo me. And
really,
they said they did. There's prizes for we don't see this because we're sequestered. But so they couldn't even hear me. And Sharon Osbourne said, "I don't like clean comedians." And I said, "Well, it's fucking American television, and you can't fucking curse on American fucking TV. And you would probably like my regular fucking show, but I don't want you to fucking come to it right now because I'm fucking pissed off at you because they all fucking buzz me. Boom, 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 motherfucker." Boy, if I had that to do over again, I'd just walk out and buzz them fuckers my own self just to get the thrill of it. And I'd like to go back and tell Pierce Morgan, someday I'm going to run into you out on the street when you don't have your big fucking buzzer to protect you from the world. I don't know how that works, but apparently you can just walk around in life and be a dick to everyone. And then when things get a little tense, he just fucking buzzes it, and then they got to go away. So, but now I got to go back into therapy. So thanks for bringing that up.
I apologize.
Starting to twitch a little bit.
Let's take a very quick break. It'll give you a chance to catch your breath. It'll give you a chance to get ready.
Wrap up.
Because I got more for you.
All right.
But look at this. Big B. You say he's never here.
Yep.
Big B is in Arizona with Mike Jolitz.
I know Mike. Yeah. I know Mike. Well, what the hell are they doing? They're at Area 51, right?
I believe so. They're somewhere there.
Why are they going looking for spaceships, or what are they?
I have no idea what they do. I have no idea. But if you know Mike Jolitz, you'll know this segment right here. Mike reads the news. So we give him 3 minutes, and then we come back. Is that
right,
deal?
so he's doing the news now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to do news. See, I busted everybody's balls about that. News isn't funny. That's a dick move to give him. Why didn't you give him poetry?
Well, give him a sec here.
All right.
Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite segments on the show.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Surprise, motherfuckers. Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How the hell are you guys? Man, this is weird. Amish Comic in the studio with DK. Wow. Alrighty, guys, it is now time for Mike Reads the News. The Colorado Avalanche are your NHL champions. They defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2.
And Corey Perry of the Lightning just became the first NHL player to ever lose 3 straight finals with 3 different teams. That's some shitty luck.
And also, the Colorado Avalanche dropped the Stanley Cup trophy just mere minutes after getting it. Is that some sort of record?
Over 200 bicyclists showed up for the World Naked Bike Ride on a cool Milwaukee morning that threatened rain last Sunday. Brian, hey, fucknut, it's not Wimmer, it's Ruminski. Ruminski made it for the 13th consecutive year and rode his unicycle the whole way, keeping the streak alive as well. After the race, Brian streaked past the winner's stand, bare-assed as well. That was not the first time for that one.
29-year-old trans woman, man, won the New York City skateboarding championship after defeating a 13-year-old girl. So they think they're a girl and 13 also? That's so fucked up.
Green Day singer Billy Joe Shithead announced during a London concert he's going to leave the U.S. and move to England due to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Later, dude.
Speaking of losers, the Miss France beauty pageant is getting sued by 3 women who didn't win. They say the pageant picks the winner based on appearance. Duh, it's not a talent show.
Netflix has laid off hundreds of employees due to a massive loss of subscribers. They lost over 200,000. I have Netflix. Don't watch it much anymore. Maybe I'll drop it too.
Olympic gymnast and former WWF wrestler Kurt Angle announced he is done wrestling. He just had both knees replaced. I'd say he's still a badass, if you ask me.
Contrary to popular belief, Johnny Depp is not in talks with Disney to do another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. He's passing on $301 million. Can't say I blame him after how they did him dirty.
The Hollywood Vampires, which consist of Alice Cooper, Joe Perry, Johnny Depp, and some other dude I don't know. They're going to go back on tour. Wait, it starts June 2023. Never mind. 5 of the 6 shows are in Germany and 1 is planned for Luxembourg. What the fuck?
And finally in the news, drummer Travis Barker was rushed to the hospital. He was transported in an ambulance. Oh my God, the horror. Doctors say it's the worst case of Kardashian syndrome they've ever seen.
Hey guys, in case you are wondering, that was Sir Big B on the mic in Rude Bassett Studios here in Surprise, Arizona. Yeah, I got him here. All right, guys, it is now time for the tidbits. Yeah. Elon Musk didn't tweet for 8 days. What the hell? Does he have a life or something? Yeah. Charlie Sheen's ex, Denise Richards, is on OnlyFans now. Whatever. I'm so not interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
R. Kelly was found guilty of sex trafficking. He was sentenced to 30 years in jail. Just lock his ass up forever.
Yeah.
Disney is making Hocus Pocus 2. That's a hard pass for me. Oh, yeah. The USFL championship game is this Sunday. Whatever. Yeah. And guys, here is Sir Big B with his own tidbit.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I have a tidbit of my own. Me, Sir Big B from the United States of America, won a Canadian hockey contest. Go Rangers.
Yeah. Nice. All righty, guys. Well, that does it for this. Mike reads the news. I hope you have a good show there, DK, with Amish Comic. And I'll be listening to you guys in a little while. You guys take care. Tschüss, ciao, and auf Wiedersehen saying bye-bye.
See you on the Twitter.
Love that guy.
How about it?
Love that guy. And Big B will be here next week to tell you the story of the Canadian hockey pool that I got him into, and he won the grand prize. How fucked up is that?
Yeah, well, everything is fucked up all the time, and that's why I forgot to do a shout out to my Vancouver friends. Fuck you, I won't do what they tell you. Fuck you, I won't do what they tell you. That's amazing. That's the kind of shit that I would do. That's the kind. I know exactly what went on there. I don't know who did it, but I was a victim of the radio sweep like that too. Up 30 years on the Bearman and Keith, Divizio Lehigh Valley, and they came in and they just fucking syndicated show from. There's a show from Ohio in Pennsylvania. We have Dr. Oz from New Jersey running for something in Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania has really lost its fucking identity. So
Dr. Oz is running for what?
It's a big fucking nightmare. He lives in New Jersey. Here's the thing that people are so fucking stupid. I can't believe he made it through the fucking nominations. People from New Jersey hate people from Pennsylvania. People from Pennsylvania hate people from New Jersey. People from Pennsylvania hate people from New York and New Jersey. People from New Jersey hate people from Pennsylvania and New York. People from New York fucking hate everybody. So how the fuck did we get a fucking reality TV star Dr. Quack who's been sued for fucking fat pills to get a nomination in fucking Pennsylvania? It's like he lost a. He doesn't even fucking live in Pennsylvania. I could run for like fucking mayor of Toronto for fuck's sake.
For though, is he running for governor? Or?
I don't want to promote him. He's running for fucking douchebag. I'd vote for him for douchebag of Pennsylvania. But that's it. So Pennsylvania is a fucking wreck, which is why I have to keep my friendship with my Canadian friend really solid. I forgive you every time you said Amish, everything, because I have a passport and I might be moving to fucking Canada soon. So
wait a minute. Tell me about this lawsuit with the fat pills before we move on.
I don't know anything about it. He's a quack. Just sometime do a thing. Just Google Dr. Oz and just know that Pennsylvania is so fucked up. They couldn't find a candidate actually from Pennsylvania.
Is he worse than like Rudy Giuliani?
Oh, well, I don't think anybody's worse than Rudy Giuliani. I mean, there's levels of worse.
The hair dye running down his...
Yeah. There's a drippy Frankenstein fucking horror show there. That's the kind of, when you can't hold your liquor and then you're curling in the toilet, Rudy Giuliani's face is what you like expect to see staring back at you. So he's maybe Dr. Oz can fucking help him. I don't know. But
now wait a minute. While we're on things, before I go, I have something planned here for you. But like, what about this Ghislaine, who just was got guilty there?
Well, I have no comment there. I think there's an old
Hillary gonna knock her off.
But there's an old saying that if you're accused of something once, it could be for money. If you're accused of it twice, somebody might have thought, hey, maybe we can get some money. And when it's the third time, that person has to come out and go, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And when they don't do that, then you know that somebody was licking more than Jell-O pudding pops, Mr. Cosby. So that's what. So I like the idea that even though justice takes a long time, it'll fucking get you. It'll fucking get you somewhere. So if there's karma, get those fuckers. I follow some of this shit on Twitter. I love how they try to get out of shit. She actually tried to postpone her sentence because her lawyer said they had her on death watch and she had no intention of killing herself. that seems like everything's fine, and then you could just sentence her. That doesn't really seem like a thing that you would postpone. So I don't know. I mean, so many people say they did it. Hey, that's my buddy. Meet Richter. John Richter's in the house. This guy here, he's part of my live stream. We share bourbon balls together, but that sounds sexual, and it's not really. It's just one night I had bourbon, and I was trying to fix the live stream frame, and I spilled bourbon on my balls, and so the phrase bourbon balls. Richter, welcome, Richter. Richter's here.
Wait a minute. I still have something I want to move on to here, and we haven't been able to get to it, but you spilled bourbon on your balls.
And then I said bourbon balls, and then Richter laughed and put it in the chat, and so now people all just bourbon balls. That's become a thing, and that's the kind of thing you can enjoy Patreon, like bourbon balls. You go see my live show, there'll be no talk about bourbon balls. That's the kind of thing that's for my unshunned on Patreon. But yeah, all hell breaks loose on there. So,
all right.
Welcome, Richter.
I thought we could have some fun with this. We got a good crowd here tonight, and I thought I was going to throw you some random Amish pictures, and you could tell me exactly what is going on.
I can make an attempt.
You can make an attempt, but I know you'll do it.
Fire them up.
So here is picture number one. Let's bring it on full screen for a minute.
That is Amish spring break. There's a place, I'm not making it up. There's a place in Florida where all the Amish go. It's Amish spring break. I can't remember the name of it. I've never been to one. Somehow these people wandered to the beach because where they actually have Amish spring break down there's right in the middle of the fucking state. They go all that way, then wind up where they were. So those are like maniacs right there. But you can see there's some very sexy beach attire.
I have so many questions about this. So they're at the beach. They're at the beach.
Yes.
It's 90 degrees out.
Yes.
They're at a resort.
Yes.
Can you not wear a bathing suit?
But those are their bathing suits. Now, fuck, dude. These are we have all occasion wear. You know, you go into your closet. Oh, it's cold. I'll put on pants. I'll put on shorts. That is, it's all occasion, man. It's and some of that shit. Well, look at the bonnet stays on. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Amish beach attire right there. That's it.
Like me. When it's hot, I got to get in my boxers or something. I like it's hot out. I just built a deck. I was sweating to death. Like this is like it doesn't matter where you are.
No, well, it's not. Well, that's the whole thing. Is that we have our clothing, and if we do wind up going anywhere, it's not like they're gonna just re-wardrobe for a week or for 2 weeks. There's Amish all over the place. Wherever there's farmland, there's Amish in upstate New York. And as a treat, every so often, a gang of them goes to Niagara Falls looking like that. Now, my wife, myself, and my daughter happened to be up when they were up. And my wife is gorgeous, and she's got some knockers on her. And so I was there, and I had on a Guns N' Roses t-shirt and jeans with holes in them. And I just marched at the end of the Amish parade with everybody looking like that because I had the head. And I just figured they can see different levels of runaway Amish. And they didn't try to get rid of me or nothing. And the thrill of that Amish Niagara Falls parade wore off in about 25 yards. So I just said, fuck you in a bucket of goo. I'm out of here. And that's it. Amish on the beach.
You have a question from Mike Jolitz.
All right, fire it up.
All right, Mike in the chat there says, I have a question. Are Amish women hairy? Do they shave their nether regions?
I think that I really like Mike, but some of his thoughts are dark and creepy. and that really qualifies as also something that possibly could be worse than you mentioning America's Got Talent season 5, and there's fucking therapy about that. The Amish women don't shave their legs; they rake them. So there's a clue for you right there. But yeah, that's. I mean, that's why you don't go down on an Amish woman. It's an old joke, but it's like you think you tripped and fell in an onion patch. Thanks for that. I'll be up all night. I'm going to have to renew my medical marijuana card.
All right, listen, I'm going to show you another picture because I got to write that down. What did you say? You tripped and fell in an onion patch.
Yes, and that's what you're going to take away from this show, you motherfucker.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Tell me about this.
That's fantastic. That is a barn raising. Come on now. Here's the thing, is that it's hard to believe, but in Pennsylvania, I don't know however many years ago, we had an actual tornado rip through from Lancaster all the way up to Reading and Kutztown and just fucking leveled farm after farm after farm. And the Amish got busloads of Amish barn raisers before insurance adjusters could even make it to Kutztown. They were out there just fucking putting up barns in like a couple of days. It's like a thing with Amish. I have no skills whatsoever, but the barn raising is also a chance for the Amish guys to show off and impress the hot Mennonite babes in bonnets. So the idea is to take a nail and put it in with one fucking whack. That means you're somehow more manlier than a little tippy toe ass like me. It has to tap on it 19 times to get the fucking nail in there. So that's barn raising, man. That's badass, man.
Yeah, I think it is too. Like, so how quick can they build a barn or a house?
It goes in stages, but it really can happen in like 2 or 3 days. They can get it from nothing to up. But now there's a lot of work before that, which was the start of me having to leave the Amish because I was tasked with going to Yoder's farm to get some lumber, but I also had already befriended some kids from Kutztown, and they talked me into going to IKEA. So I came back with like 9 Presdrov chairs made out of shitty IKEA wood. So I got taken off barn raising duty, but
I still think you lost it when you were in Rumspringa.
Yeah, I lost it. I definitely lost it. So
hey, we have another question. Hang on.
Right.
We have another question here. Let's see if I can bring it up. I have a burning question as well. Is it an Amish requirement that your hair is in line with the hat brim? Please advise.
No, but again, you struck some nerves. So
I'm not trying. This is a question from the audience.
No, it's a very excellent question. So the way the brim of the hat can get you in a lot of trouble. So if you do this, you're just fucking looking for trouble, just from that. So right. And they actually have, like, if it's down like this, if you can be accused of wearing your hat, your brim, on a cocky angle. That's all it fucking takes. But there's no real alignment here. The significance of the beard on the Pennsylvania Amish means that we're a married man. So you fuckers going out swinging, and you take your ring off, you try to hide that wedding band right there, baby. There's no way to hide that fucker. But that's the beard. And again, if you want to get in trouble, young Amish just grow a beard, and they're just you can't have it. But there are different groups of Amish. The Amish fight. The difference between the Amish and the Mennonites are like the Sharks and the Jets in West Side Story. They have suspenders are worn on different angles. They connect this way and that. The color of the buggy, the cockiness of the hat. But I never heard nothing about being lined up. But this is another thing that pisses me off. See, this is a high maintenance look. This does not fall off my face by birthright of being Amish. This is like shaving a coos. I would never want to have to shave the naughty bits down there, but this is the fucking high maintenance look.
I have a question now that you mentioned West Side Story, though. I have another picture to bring up, but is there gangs? Like is there different factions of the Amish that, or are y'all one big family? Like,
Well, there's definitely gangs, but since we all look the same, there's like no gang insignia, and they're not allowed to do anything, so there's no gang theme. But there's little cliques. Like every other weekend, we'd head on out to Intercourse for the weekend sister swap. That was a thing. That's what they didn't call it that, but that's what we called it. And basically, you would go there and bring your sisters, and then try to flirt with other sisters. It's basically a sister swap. And so the problem there is it's virtually impossible to trade up. If you come with an ugly sister, you can only get somebody else's ugly sister. So when you go out and try to sex around, you work on yourselves. We worked on our sisters. Like, come on, work with me here. Show me a little leg. Hang a little neck out of that bonnet, for fuck's sake.
so again, the Facebook user out here, I don't know who Facebook user is, but says same question as me, I guess. Is there an Amish mob? Like, is there anything illegal, or are you guys like the cleanest?
Or are we talking Amish mafia? Is that what we're talking?
Well, he said mob, but if you want
that's such bullshit. The Amish, here's what the problem is with the Amish mafia show is that what I didn't like about it was they portrayed the Amish as like whiny, oh, please help me, the tourist, he took a pie and he didn't leave $3. Bullshit. The Amish are the most enterprising, self-sufficient people on the planet Earth. If you were on Survivor, you would want to be on Team Amish. They don't need any fucking protection from anyone. And even if there was Amish Survivor, we even got to, put the torch out thing because we're good with candles and all that shit.
Would you defeat zombies?
Do we defeat zombies?
Yeah.
Well, we walk around and we look like we're Night of the Living Dead. So I think we're like kind of safe. We got that kind of look. I always actually want to conduct haunted Amish farm tours for Halloween, like a scare house. And I wouldn't have to fucking do anything because the Amish farm is pretty darn scary. The graveyard's there with like wooden sticks and there's no real names on it. And then you go down in the basement in the root cellar and then Mammy's pickling something down there, pig's feet or some shit. And then is there a corn maze? Yeah, just follow Stoltzfus. He's the guy with the sickle and stand back because he's still fucking carving out the maze in there. But yeah, it's kind of peaceful until it becomes Children of the Corn. And then
I keep telling you, you remind me of Isaac.
Well,
you remind me of Isaac. You are like the modern day Isaac from Children of the Corn. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to call up Amish affirmative action because that's like you've seen. We all look the same, so that's a bunch of happy horse shit there.
No, but Isaac was a kid. You just like you could be the adult Isaac in the remake of Children of the Corn.
Well, tell him. What I hear more times than not is Randy Quaid from Kingpin. That's what I hear. In fact, that's what some people are posting on the TikToks. Oh, when did Randy Quaid become the Amish guy on TikTok? Well, so.
All right. Listen, another picture. This is a good one. What's going on here?
Oh, baby. There's some Amish babes playing baseball. These are self-explanatory. I don't know why they need to be fucking analyzed by me. That's fucking... There was a barn raising. A fucking nitwit could figure it out. I'm sorry if I offended somebody who sent in this question. That is babes, Amish babes playing baseball. That's what's going on there. And now, because it's funnier than that picture, I will tell you my humorous baseball observation from only just a couple of weeks ago. The umpires, something happens to them when they call the third called strike and it's the third out of an inning. So umpire goes nuts. If it's the third, it's a called third strike for the third out of the inning. First two pitches, they'll go like, hoop, hoop, and then they don't swing it to third. You are out. You fucked up. You let two go by. I called them strikes. Two went right in the same fucking spot. I called the first one a fucking strike, and the second one I called a fucking strike, and the third one, you shouldn't be surprised. You are fucking out. It's really nuts. The umpire's fucking Jekyll and Hyde. And then they do like a little bow and a curtsy, and the batter stands there like a dick. In football, that umpire would draw a unsportsmanlike conduct flag. So there you go.
But now, are the boys not allowed to play? Like usually, we go to a family picnic, the boys play. This is all the girls, and this looks competitive. And she still has her apron on, like she looks like she's baking bread.
Well, that's probably, it could be one of the specialty leagues. Like when you hit the ball, you run to first base, but then you have to bake some bread before you can advance to second, or plant some corn. I don't really know. So the pitcher doesn't tell the whole tale because they could be playing guys. It's possible they could be playing guys. It's possible that they're just dicking with you.
It's like a rite of passage or something.
It's not, baseball is not a rite of passage. But the better game than baseball that the Amish play is corner ball, or as we used to call it, Mennonite in the middle. There's four guys stand on corners, and you get like a hacky sack, right?
That's the name of the show. Just give me a minute.
And then it's cornerball, Mennonite in the middle, and the Mennonite used to play against the Amish, and it'd be four Amish on the corners, and then the lone Mennonite in the middle, and you have a hacky sack, and you actually throw at him, and if you hit him, he's out. Now, the Mennonites, we have over the years accused them of cheating. So when the ball hits
you don't
them,
like those people, do you?
Well, that's not bad. But the Mennonites are the kind of people who would yell out bingo when they didn't even have it. So when you throw the hacky sack at the Mennonite, if they say it didn't hit them, we used to put little carpenter nails in there. And if they say it didn't hit them, if they were dripping, then we knew they were lying. So that's a fun game, corner ball. The Amish also, they take buggies and two of them, and they string up a volleyball net. That would have been a better picture. That's not it's Babes playing baseball, but they did sports, but they really, it's one of those deals where they don't keep score all the time just because, we don't want anybody to feel terrible that they lost. Or
Mike Jolitz wants to know what the favorite Mennonite sexual fantasy is.
Oh, that's such a terrible joke. He set me up for this.
Sexual fantasy story.
It's the oldest dumb joke in the book. It's what does it take to make an Amish woman happy? Just two Mennonite. It's a terrible joke. I would never tell it. I'm embarrassed that it was brought up. But beyond that, perhaps like something like buggy style maybe would be something. I don't know. This Amish sex is not there's no rolling around the room and knocking over lamps because we don't have any lamps. It's pretty much like if you're done, get off. That's like Amish dirty sex talk. If you're done, get off.
All right, here's another one.
Okay.
Is he walking his cows? What's he doing?
Well, again, self-explanatory, but the cows had to get from one side of the road to the other.
Why?
So that's where they went. I don't fucking know the circumstances here. Maybe somebody said hamburger and they all fucking ran. I don't fucking know. I don't have a clue. It's possible that it's also a protest and the fucking Mennonite Mummers Parade was coming down the other street and they said, fuck them assholes. They're not going to come in here with the Mennonite Mummers Band. It's possibly just cows crossing the street. So what
a normal thing, what
I'm sensing here is that when people somehow see a picture of an Amish doing anything, they go, "That's fucking weird," because it was our understanding that the Amish did nothing ever. Like just a picture like this of Amish, that's fine. But as soon as you add any farm animals or baseball or barn raising, what the fuck are they doing? Just, there's only so many things Amish can do, and that's it. They can walk cows across. They can play baseball. They can milk a cow. They can try to milk a chicken and then get sent to special perform school. But there's not really too many activities they can do.
I get you.
Well, that's the fun of me, though. See, if you take me and put me around cows or barns, and that's one thing. But if you take me out of there and stick me in the city, I get rubbernecks worse than like Dolly Parton's breasts at a gay bar. It's just like, what the fuck is he doing? What is that? Oh, what is he doing?
I get it. It's lots of fun, though.
Next picture.
I have one more.
All right.
Actually, I have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Let me bring this picture and let me give you the breaking news, and you can explain this to me.
All right.
Apparently, just last week in Pennsylvania, a horse and buggy was pulled over for DUI. This comes from Erie, Pennsylvania. A traffic stop of a horse and buggy resulted in a DUI of underage drinking charges. At 7:06 p.m. on June 17th, the Pennsylvania police noticed multiple Amish juveniles riding unsafely in a horse and buggy.
That's polite for like they were doing donuts in a cornfield when they get liquored up. The people always tell me that it must be fun to party with the Amish because the horse knows the way home. The horse doesn't know dick. I got passed out one night behind the reins of the buggy coming home from a New Year's Eve party, and I woke up in fucking Canada. The horse doesn't know fucking dick. It just fucking goes and fucking goes and fucking goes and fucking goes. Well, the fun of this is that I don't know how they are now, but I'm going back a long time. Mostly the Amish don't have ID. So what the cops do then is they call them in and they don't know what to fucking do with them. And they start asking if anybody knows anybody about anybody who knows anybody who knows anybody. So they start saying, the Amish kids might say, I'm a Stoltzfoots. And then they will get a word out to Stoltzfoots. And what happens is, since they don't know what to do with them, more times than not, the Amish who are liquored up in the buggy might have on blue jeans and t-shirt. They might have their party clothes on. So if the Amish parents can show up in court with the proper Amish attire, the judge just releases them and says, just get them the fuck out of here and take them home and dress them back up like Amish Barbie Ken dolls, and we'll be done with it. So there's a lot of, I don't know specifically what the laws are, but there's a lot of drunken.
They steal the buggy from dad like you would steal a car? Or?
Well, we wouldn't call it stealing. We would just say, I'm liquored up and there's a buggy and let's go. Let's cruise for chicks. Let's cruise.
And how does one get busted in a DUI in a buggy?
Why are you asking me? How the fuck do I know, for crying out loud? I would imagine there was some erratic driving patterns, or possibly.
How do you erratically drive a buggy?
Well, eventually there will be a stop sign, so they can run a stop sign. There's that. They could be on the wrong side of the road. There's that. But yeah, I would say you probably have to go out of your way also to be pulled over with a buggy, because there's only so many tricks you can do with a buggy.
So fast, right?
Yeah, and there's only so many tricks you can do. So they'd have to pull off some serious shit. And if they fuck around too much, like we used to do like donuts and shit, if by perchance that left wheel would break, you would just fucking go around in a circle for hours until you could stop that horse. So the thing would go down and then just go. So yeah, there's drunk buggy driving.
Well, yeah. I get it, but like I can imagine those things only go so quick. And you've always got that yellow triangle or orange triangle on the back, so you're.
Yeah, that does nothing. That does nothing. The people that are just stuck behind buggies in Lancaster, that's the thing I piss them on about on TikTok. When they see me, when I perform around Lancaster, and if anyone was stuck behind a buggy, right away somehow it's my fault. And they drink Yinglings all night, and they listen to me banging off sheep jokes and all that shit. And then hey, I got stuck behind one of your buggies last week. And sometimes I'm a dick, and I just say, that's right. They're all mine. I own them all. Sit there and launch fucking buggy strikes. Launch buggy strikes on my iPad at the Dutch Wonderland, and you just going to be late for work all of next month, bitch. How about that?
One last picture.
All right.
You're probably going to get mad at me again.
I'm not mad at you. I got to schmooze you because in case I have to move to Canada. All right.
Is this like a production of Rip Van Winkle?
No, what's going on right there is that's actually Amish internet, because we have social media called soup can, empty soup cans with string. So they empty out soup cans and connect them with string, and that's the power source right there instead of getting a hamster to run on the wheel. So
that's it.
They're just basically making fucking sweaters. It's probably they're working on Christmas presents, for crying out loud. None of these pictures would be considered a mystery. All right. So that's what the fun of TikTok is. See, but TikTok is an illusion. There'll be a man there and he'll be all fucking scary and he'll have an axe. And then you'll click on, you go, I want to see what this fucking murderer has to say. And then he'll go, I reckon you want to know what I'm doing, a hole in the axe. Well, I'd rather put it down and have a donut. Woo-hoo. And it's fucking TikTok. When he puts the axe down, he picks up a fucking donut, and it's a little song. 10 billion views. I don't fucking get it.
But I gotta tell you, like, you gotta understand, you've been talking about National Geographic, you've been talking about all this stuff. People want to learn, people want to understand the culture.
Well,
you haven't been there for what, 50 years?
So I go perform there, but I kind of just hide. I do dick with the tourists a little bit when I go down there. One of the last times I was down there, I ran into a convenience store right in the thick of it, and I picked up a can of shaving cream and a razor. And in the store, I said, one more day like this on the farm, and I'm going to put the whole fucking thing and shave this bitch off. But I'll give him one more day. And then I put the shaving cream down and the razor, and I walked out of there. And then people were like, oh, maybe they thought I was the Children of the Corn kid on that particular day. So, but yeah, the problem, see, the thing is about the Amish is, though, that if you were there yesterday or 5 years ago or 50 years ago, or 50 years from now, it's all the fucking same. Nothing changes. That's why I love history so much, because the Amish have no history. It's one day is the history of the fucking Amish. One day is like the other day, is like the other day, is like the other day. So I get fascinated with actual real history, but the Amish, it's not like I'm going to go back and go, wow, when did we get all the pink buggies? But
at some point you came from Germany or but Switzerland is more where it's from, right? At some point you came and migrated over to. You must have a history.
We do. The first Amish came. You will learn something about the Amish. I don't have the years straight, but the first Amish came here, a big group on a ship called the Charming Nancy, which took like 183 days to get across the Atlantic Ocean. So even the Amish on the water seemed like their horse-drawn carriage to get across the fucking thing. So that was the first group, and that was largely because of, I'm not sure who invited us. William Penn possibly invited first Amish to come, religious freedom, which again goes back to history. So when the first Bibles existed, there were only preachers had them. So when they'd preach, people had to believe what they told them because they couldn't read because they didn't have Bibles. When the printing press was invented, whatever year that was, it was like Sling Blade guy went in that scene. I learned to read the Bible. A lot of this stuff you told me ain't in here. And then they made up their own conclusions because they could read, and that's where everybody wound up hiding in the Swiss Alps until they could figure out where to go. And the Amish are so fucking crazy. Now you struck a nerve. Okay, the Amish were founded by
to strike a nerve.
the Amish. You're gonna learn shit about the Amish. I don't want to fucking teach anybody about the Amish, but I know this shit. The Amish are named after their founder, Jacob Ammon, right? Who was originally a Mennonite. The Mennonites are named after founder Menno Simons. Menno Simons, Mennonites. Mennonites under Menno Simons were so lax, according to Jacob Ammon, that he split off and formed a stricter Amish that was so strict that he, his own self, could not live up to the rules by which he set. So he excommunicated himself from the Amish and threw him out, and he went back, crawling back to Menno Simon, saying, the Amish is too strict, and I can't do it, and I threw myself out, and I want to come back. And Menno Simon's like, get the fuck out of here. You're too fucking crazy for us. Just go. So that's how they got the Amish. It was so strict. He didn't live up to it. He tried to go back to the Mennonites, and they're like, fuck you in a bucket of goo. And that's well, there's more to it, but you can Google a lot of this shit.
I know, but it's more fun when you tell me.
It's odd that I actually know facts.
Yeah.
Charming Nancy, that's the first ship that came over.
Farming Nancy.
Charming Nancy, not farming Nancy.
Okay.
That would have been more accurate. It's a farming
That's
Nancy.
like me saying Amish.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right, listen. We're gonna wrap things up, and I'm having a hard time picking the name of the show, but I think I got it. What do you got going on? Because you probably won't join me for another year or so.
Well, that'd be your fault, not mine.
Oh, I always.
I love being on. I love being on, and I would actually like to get on with the old All-Star team when you can arrange it, because whoever's the British guy.
Yeah, Choo Choo Stew's long gone. Choo Choo Stew's long gone. He's a Buddhist now or something.
Okay, well, the way you posted it though on social media, I thought he was dead, because you said Choo Choo left us.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yeah.
That's what you said. And Buddhism is probably way more fucked up than me. So, but when I spoke to him and I used a British accent for fun, he called me a racist. What the hell? Talking with a British accent is fun. So he's gone. He's a Buddhist. We don't want to make a dick out of him, because he could probably. That's another thing, though. I thought it would be funny. See, the Amish spend their whole life trying to get to heaven. But wouldn't that be funny if when they died and went to heaven, they found out God was Buddha? Little fat Asian man and fuck up their every reason for living. Like, no heaven for you, reincarnation. When you spend 88 years living in manure, you don't want to hear fucking dick about reincarnation. You want fucking in. You don't want to fucking go back and redo it. No reincarnation.
Listen, Big B is still around. You know,
right.
Big B. He's just on vacation.
All right.
So Big B will be back when you get here.
I'd love to be on show. What I'm trying to get people to do, I am morphing back into show business. It is a brutal thing. I'm really trying to get people over on my Patreon. It's Amish Comic. The cheapest way to get in is a $3 subscription, $3 a month. And you can actually do an annual one fee and get 2 free months. So, like, you could really help me out a lot by giving me $30 fucking dollars. That's what I want. Comedians sell merchandise. I want people to just send me money because they feel sorry for me, so they can Venmo me at Amish Comic. They can join my Patreon, or follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to get viral on TikTok, but that's what I'm doing. I'm booking shows as I can book them, but
you're working the streets. You got a show next week.
I do. I think it's Friday, July 9th. I'll be at the Selinsgrove VFW in Selinsgrove. That is an amazing thing. If you can get to like the part of Pennsylvania that's around the Hershey area, and then Harrisburg, and then head up to Selinsgrove, that's towards State College. You go along the river. It's the most amazing. For 6 miles, there's fucking nothing except like 3 strip clubs, a tattoo parlor, and a Sheetz. and there's sheets always has Amish in it, and there's no fucking buggies in the parking lot ever. And I seen a busload of Amish women pouring out of the van. It was like good Amish girls gone wild. But for reasons I couldn't tell you, in that river, we have a teeny little Statue of Liberty in the fucking river in Pennsylvania. And it's not, nobody talks about it or anything. It's just fucking there. And you think you're like smoking dope and hallucinating. And then I figured out those Amish are at the sheets because somebody's cheating them and selling them a tourist package to go see the Statue of Liberty in New York. They're just driving them up the fucking river. There it is. They can't take pictures, so they got to sketch it, and that's fucking it. So I got that going on. And then July, the last Friday in July, I'm going to be at the Emmaus Theater, right in the town where I live. I'm very excited about that show. And then whatever else I can book. But get on my Patreon, get on my TikTok, send me money. That's the important message here. Send me money because I have to replace this shower curtain every so often.
You sound like a preacher.
Good. That's good. But I want to go for more like car salesman without actually selling you any kind of thing. So,
but the preacher is the one. Send me money.
Yeah, they say a lot more than that. Pass the hat, right? Pass the hat. So, but yeah, just watch my stuff. If you can watch my stuff and just check out there's stuff on my YouTube channel, Amish Comic. Just people go, how do you find it? Put in Amish Comic. And if anyone else comes up and it's not me, I'll fucking blow my own brains out. It can only just be me. So Amish Comic on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Patreon and wherever, just if you can't make it to my show, watch my stuff. All the minutes count. It's the weirdest thing. Like your watched minutes count on TikTok. Yeah. So you can actually help your own career there, my friend, by just clicking on your own videos, but not from
my own videos.
But not from your device. You'd have to be logged in on somebody else's device so they wouldn't think it was you. Because like TikTok is clever going, what a dick. He's just sitting there watching his own fucking videos. That doesn't count. So.
I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, he is he is my favorite guest. I will go so far as to say that. Big B loves him as well. But
right back at you. That's why I really hoard me here because I love you guys too. That's how we got Richter. Richter's from my world. I brought you Richter. All right. Now, whether you're going to keep him, if Richter's here next week, when you do whatever you do, that's on you because I won't be here. And if Richter shows up, then you'll say, wow, we got Richter. We picked up a new fan. But I kind of think he's going to come with me. So you guys might be fucked. You might have to get your own Richter.
We do our own thing. Yeah. But unless you have a protest to this, I wrote a lot of things down. But I want to call this show Mennonite in the Middle.
All right. We didn't get Amish in the title, but it's sanctioned.
Oh, they'll know you're here.
It's an attention getter. I like it. Mennonite in the middle. Go with it.
Let's run with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Raymond the Amish Comic, my number one. If we're fortunate enough, he will be back before the end of the year.
I'd love to be back, man. I don't know how we wrap this stuff up, but check this shit out. I'll give you my TikTok performance. Yep. Alexa, turn off light. I fucking love that. Love that. There's me in the dark. So that's me. I think I'm signed off.
All right. We'll see you, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Love you.
Love you too, man. 99.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raymond the Amish Comic. Until next week, when we hear from Big B and his big journey meeting Mike Jolitz. My name is DK, and I'll see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Search Cave Crew Radio.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here! Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out!
Get out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up!